Hey guys, welcome to JazzedTutorials. This week I'm going to show you how to create a cool, like, saturated mosaic type effect. We've done similar effects to this in the past, like a halftone effect, but this is way different than a halftone effect. This is more of like a circular dot pattern type of effect we're going for, but it's relatively sort of like a halftone effect. But anyways, I thought it was cool, so I'm going to share it with you guys and show you what I mean. So first of all, you're going to open your photo of choice. I'm just using this random photo here I found on google.com. And then once you open your photo, you want to then make your photo a smart object. Now, smart objects basically mean you can add different filters and effects to it without doing anything to the actual photo. So if you want to go back and fix stuff with your effects, you can. Because I know if you did it without a smart filter, it wouldn't work as well. And then if you make a mistake, it takes a long time to go backwards, and you can only go back so far in your Photoshop history before you can't delete anymore. So that's why Photoshop smart filters are always nice to have when you're making a certain type of photo. So when you right click your photo, it'll give you the option to smart object. Mine will just say, let's say convert to smart object, click that, and then click yes, and then it will give you options. Okay, now let's go up and add some cool things to it. So after that, you're going to then add a color fill of black below everything. So go to image, so just go here, do solid color black, and make it below everything and above your background, if you have a background. Alright, then after that, we're going to then go up here to our filter, and make sure you click on your layer 1 or layer 0, whichever you have on there, of your image, and go to filter, and you're going to go to blur, and excuse me, not blur, you're going to go to pixelate, and click mosaic. Now you may need to alter your settings, your cell size, depending on the size of your photo. My photo is relatively small, so I'm going with a 20 size square cell size. But again, if you want to go higher or lower, go for it. I think the highest that would work well would be 60 cell sizes, but again, trial and error, see what looks good to you. So I went with 20 on mine, and let me make those visible for you. And that's what mine looks like. Alright? Now, let's go further into this and really make the circular cell sizes come out. So go over here to your, make a new document now. Alright, now you'll see here I've made the document. I have a 60 by, let me go back and show you what I've done. Alright, so I have a 60 by 60 document. I've zoomed it in quite far so you can see what the heck we're doing. I took a elliptical marquee tool with a feather of 0px, and I made a nice black circle right in the dead center. And then after that, I went to image and adjustments, and I inverted that. Now, you're probably thinking, well, why couldn't we have just done a white circle and a black background? Well, it wouldn't have given this effect, it wouldn't have shown the effect as nicely if you did it that way. So, yeah, that's why I did it this way. Alright, and once you do that, then you're going to go to Edit, and you're going to define this as a pattern. And then name it whatever you want, and then X out of that. Okay? And then go back to your lovely little cool thing here, and on your lady layer, or your guy layer, whatever photo you're using, you're going to add a layer mask. And inside your layer mask, you're going to then paste and fill that with your pattern you just made. So go over here to your paint bucket tool, and under that, rather than foreground, select pattern. And then go over here and select your pattern that you just made. Now, here's where you get to play around with this. When you click here, you'll notice how my pattern is very large and overpowers my photo quite a bit. If this is the case for your photo, go back to your document that you made your pattern in and remake your pattern with a smaller circle. That's all you gotta do. So, back here, step backwards, step backwards. We're gonna step this back a bit. D, and marquee that. And we're gonna move that into the center. Black that, D, and we're gonna invert this, remember, don't forget to invert this. Invert, and edit, different pattern. I'm going to do pattern 4. We're going to go back on that, edit and backwards. And now let's go add our other pattern that we just made and see how much that looks cool. Alright, a little bit too small, but again. Okay, now after some trial and error in Photoshop, I've realized that my photo needs a real smaller pattern. So I smalled my pattern like that. So I went in here and I made a smaller square, and I added a white dot. So that's my size I've chosen. But again, you're going to have to probably play around with your patterns, keep remaking them, and seeing what works best for your photo. It's a little time consuming, but there isn't really a set size of a pattern for this tutorial. You really have to play around with each photo. So yeah. Okay, now it kind of looks okay for me. I kind of like it the way it is, but again, if you don't like it, you can change it. Doesn't matter. Alright, now we're going to add a hue and saturation adjustment layer. And we're doing this just so we can add some more color and vibe to this. So just adjust your saturation so that it shows better. Add some lightness or darkness, whatever you want. Again, play around with your photo. Every color is different. I mean, you know. And then just for a final touch, I'm going to add a levels adjustment layer to add even more lightness and brightness to this. Just so that we can get a really nice contrasty color and really make it stand out and look amazing. Alright, well, that's my photo. Now, you can go ahead, I think, and you can try and edit the, hold on, play around with the photo and play around with the circles and see what looks good to you. And if you want to play around with the cell size of your mosaic, you're more than welcome to. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. But again, I think 20 looks perfectly fine for me. And it's all about playing with your own pattern. So I know this may have been a horrible kind of tutorial, and it may not be really cool and whatnot, but hey, you know, I gave you a video. And I tried my best, so hopefully you guys like this. If you think it was horrible and butchered and all that kind of stuff, I'm sorry, guys. I just wanted to give you an awesome kind of video. And I randomly created this in Photoshop and thought I'd share it with you guys, but yeah. So, thanks for watching, guys, and comment, like, and subscribe, and I promise that next week's video will be even more awesome. Yes.